Hello, hello. Welcome to the discussion. How are we doing today? How are we doing today? I'm a bit late as usual. So let's quickly make a full. I'm a bit late today, but that's okay. Who is joining me today? Hello, 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 hello. Who do we have online today? Who do we have online today? Who do we have joining us today? Hello? 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 Who do we have here today? Who do we have today? Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone that joined us. Thank you so much. Today we are making a fun Oha today. Who is gonna join us today? No. Who do we have join us today? Yeah, let's quickly make something special. Today we are making a very fresh Oha. I'm gonna get this close so you guys can see me very close. So yeah, let's get started. Once again, it's a Kenneth in this kitchen. Sorry, I'm a bit late today. I went to church and I got back, and here I am in vacation doing what I know how to do. So let's get a lot of people to join us today. Who is joining us today? Yeah, who is joining us today? So let's get started. Before I start adding everything in the pot, maybe I need to do some introduction to let you guys know exactly everything I have here to get started. And here I have beef. This is my beef I'm going to use. This is my beef. And this is my cow leg. I have some cuts already. My cow leg. And this is intestine I'm going to use to cook. So whenever you join us, remember I made some introduction. This is intestine I'm going to use. And I have this small liver here that I'm going to also be using to cook. Very small one actually. And I have something special here too. That is the gizzard. I'm going to be using also to cook. You guys can see the gizzard. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So first, because I'm making up for her, and virtually everything I need to use to cook for her we cook with the rest of the soup. Nothing is parboiled when it comes to making up for her. Nothing is parboiled. The meat will cook along the soup itself. So the beauty of making up for her is this. Once your meat is well cooked, you are done cooking because you started cooking with the meat, with the fresh meat. So, and again, one of the advantages of cooking with fresh meat is this, raw meat is this. It's going to absorb every spice you use in cooking. Imagine using fresh meat to cook. All the spice that you're using to cook is going to absorb everything. So right now I have my shaki in there, as you guys can see. My intestine still has some fat around it, but I won't mind. I'm gonna add it like that. And this is my gizzard. My gizzard will go in next. This gizzard takes some time to cook. I don't know why, but it takes some time. But just watch how I'm doing it. I'm gonna add my intestine. The intestine still has some fat around it. I don't care about that. I don't want to play it more. So what I have now is this. I'm going to cover it to start cooking. I deliberately did not cut this cow feet. I didn't want to cut it for a reason. I want to just cut it into two, and that is it. So that was why I didn't cut this one. So I'm just going to do the cutting right now. Why this is boiling. I want it for the first time. I want to eat big meat. So I'm going to just cut this into two. I've avoided this cow leg a bit, so you guys can see this is cow leg. I'm cutting it into two because I want it very big in the soup. So it's going in like this. And this one also, the remaining part of it will also go in, not so much like that, but this will go in like this. Don't mind me. I want to put this one exactly as it is. For a reason. So if you know me very well, you know I don't like big meat. But for the first time, I want to use big meat to cook. So this is part of the cow leg I'm using to cook. Remember, I chose to wait until I have you guys online before I even start making anything. So this is going in right now, and I will pull this one like this too. I don't want to cut it. It's for a reason. You guys know I love to use meat a lot to cook, and I'll put the rest in there. So like I said, oh my God, like I said, once this meat finishes cooking, I'm done cooking. I've said it before. Hello, Nat King, welcome. Marianne Chris, you joined us today. That's great. Tita Inusa, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you guys. If you're watching from Facebook, thank you for joining me today. If you're watching from YouTube, I'm glad you joined us. So I'm gonna just get rid of all this stuff right now to make space for myself. I still have my liver here. I'm still gonna add my liver definitely. So what I have left here now to add is my red meat, as you guys can see, and of course the liver. The rest has gone in here and it's gonna start cooking immediately. And I think we'll be using approximately 1 hour to cook. We're not going to spend more than 1 hour here. We are making fresh oha soup. And when I mean fresh oha soup, I mean really fresh oha soup. This is oha I've got. I got this oha yesterday from somewhere, and for the first time, I'm not going to be using dry oha. I'm using fresh oha to cook. So this soup is very special for me. Trust me, it's very special because it's not every day you get this fresh oha to cook. Not every day. So this is how we're going to be using. We won't use everything, but I just want to show you guys. And this is the azu, the dry fish I'm going to be using to cook. I'm going to soak it in hot water now, just to make sure to get a little bit soft before I clean it. So avoid my hot water. I'm going to just soak it in a bit. By the time I'm ready to clean it, it will not be that much hot again. So for some reason today, because I'm cooking a hot soup, I chose to use orange habanero pepper to cook. You guys know how much this pepper can contribute to making very, very tasty and delicious spicy oha soup. The orange habanero pepper. I'm going to be using it to cook. I have Cameroon pepper definitely, but this brings a high level flavor when you're cooking a hot soup. So this is what we're going to be using, and a bit of course, a bit of Cameroon pepper. So we have this ready. So what I'm going to be doing right now is while I am giving this, I'm going to let this boil a bit before I do this. I've got my palm paste here. Yeah, typically if I'm in Nigeria, Auntie Virginia, good afternoon. I see your picture there. If I'm in Nigeria cooking, I probably will not use palm paste. I will go and buy the palm nuts, boil it, and of course extract the paste. But you know, when you're in this part of the world, you have to make do with what you have. So what we've got here is palm paste. I'm gonna open it and see what it looks like. You know, I don't like the oil. I don't like the oil in palm paste. Oh, you see what I don't like about this? So I'm gonna just take out all this oil. I don't like it. You see the oil on top, which is good for some people, but I don't like it. So I just need the paste, not this fat. The thing about if I turn all this into the soup right now, by the time I'm done cooking, I'm going to have lots of oil on the surface of the hot soup, and that is not what I want. So I will try my best to minimize how much oil I have floating on the soup by making sure that I remove this fat. It's really good if you want to leave it, but for me, no. So that I will scoop out right now. I'm going to scoop it out first because I don't want it. Once I scoop out the top that has the oil, you can see what I'm talking about. This top has the oil, I don't want it. So this is the one I want. This is what I want actually. This one is what I want. So this will be good enough for me. If this is not enough, I will open. I bought two actually, but I want to try to see if I can use only one to do it. So if you are watching me from YouTube, I'm glad you did. If you're watching me from Facebook, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. We are waiting for this to get to boil a little bit more before I will add my paste. Also, I've got my very local seasoning here. I don't cook. If I'm making oha soup, I must have ogiri to do it. If I don't have ogiri, I won't cook oha soup. So this is ogiri. That mine is not in the leaf. You know how we normally buy it in the market. But this is ogiri for oha soup. So this is great for oha soup. Juliet Ifeoluwa Olia. Báwo ni mo kí ẹ o? Yeah, happy Sunday from Saskatoon. Thanks, Auntie. Happy Sunday from Regina here. So this is my ogiri, just so you guys know. Ogiri is very good when you are making local soup like oha soup. Ogiri is very important to have it in there. And I think that's all I have right here. For those that have not seen this, what I have here is my red meat. What I have here is my red meat, and what I have here is kind of small liver that I have, which I'm going to add inside. Yeah. But so far, what is cooking here is cow leg, shaki, gizzard, and what else? I think that's all that is cooking, but plenty of it. So what is next now? What is next now for me is, as it's cooking, I'm going to just quickly add this. I'm going to quickly add my palm paste. I might open the second one if I want to, but let's start with this first one. Let's see how this one, if this one is enough, I won't be needing the second one, certainly. But if it's not enough, I'll be needing the second one. So everyone that's joining us today, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you guys. Remember, even if you don't have palm nut or palm paste, you can use your palm oil. But definitely, oha soup is best done with palm paste or palm nut. So I'm just mixing this up to see how it's looking. I probably might be needing the second one. Yeah, I think I might be needing the second one. This is not okay yet. I will be needing the second one. I bought two that I'm going to be using. So I just need to get some out from the second one. So I'm just going to scoop out the top. Maybe I'll add some of it later, but not now. I just don't need it now. The top has lots of oil, which I don't need. I said it before. So I think this is enough. Let's see how it's doing. Remember, I said this again. Every meat, except for the cow leg that is half boiled, every other meat here is fresh meat. And if you're making a hot soup, you got to start cooking the meat right from when you're making the soup, not parboil and keep like I did yesterday with afan soup. No. Typically afan soup, you can as well just cook direct if you want, but definitely I wanted to parboil the meat for yesterday to help to enable me to cut it quickly. Otherwise, I think you can actually cook afan soup direct straight with fresh meat, so long as you mind how much water you add in your cooking, because that is what matters most. The amount of water you have in your cooking will determine exactly the texture of the soup. If you're making afan soup, trust me, you don't need much water because you're going to add spinach or water leaf that produces more water. If you're making a hot soup, yes, you need more water, and eventually what will help you determine the texture of the soup is the thickener you're adding. Whether you're using pounded yam, that is okay. Whether you're using other kinds of cocoyam, that is still okay. For me, I use poundo sometimes. Sometimes I use cocoyam. The most important thing is that you use the right thickener that will not alter the taste of the soup you're making. If there's some seasoning some thickener you may use, it will alter the taste of the hot soup. So you want to avoid all those ones. So let's give this time to boil and see if the oil is okay. And then, so if you're wondering why I've not added this meat, this is why. It takes very short time for this meat to get cooked. Very short time. And I want to take my time to remove some of the fat around it. So this meat will go in last because it doesn't take much time to cook. That is why I still have it here while the shack is still cooking. So while we are waiting, while the shack is cooking, I'm going to start getting ready the meat. I don't like this. For you, if you're using this kind of meat to cook that has some fat, you can put it inside. But for me, I want to just show you guys something. I don't like this fat, so I'm going to get rid of it before I put the meat inside. But if you don't care about it, you can add it. But I care a lot about how much fat I have in my food. So that is why I have to remove this part. I just want to show you guys before I continue the cooking. This is fat and I don't need it. So this is what the meat looks like eventually when I'm done. But you know what? Whatever suits you, you do it. You don't have to remove the fat like I'm doing if you don't have to. So right now we are almost done. We are almost done with our talking, and I'm going to check my fish. My fish is doing well. The water is still a bit warm, but I'm going to debone it. By the time I'm done, I'm going to debone it completely and then put it inside. So everyone watching, thank you for joining us today from Facebook. Thank you for joining us from YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We will be here for less than 1 hour, trust me. Like I always do say, when you're making a hot soup, Once the meat is done, you are done cooking. So for this also, I'm adding stockfish. This stockfish was from yesterday, the one I remained from cooking up and soup yesterday. So there's no fresh, there's no bring another stockfish. So I'm adding the stockfish to, so continue cooking with that. I'm still going to add lots of water here, so more water is going in here. So we are ready for with that now. The next we're going to do, of course, is to blend our pepper and add it way in advance. I'm going to be using my small chopper to blend the pepper. So if you're joining me for the first time, sorry guys, if you're joining me for the first time, I cannot present this kitchen and I hope you will love what you see. Please get your friends to join us on this page. Let's keep making good food. I have orange habanero pepper here to blend. So let's get started with that. And if you're the type that when you hold pepper, you feel the heat, don't know what I'm doing, find other ways to blend your pepper. You don't have to hold it like this. Trust me, you don't have to. If it's going to get too hot in your hand, find other means to do it. So remember I told you guys why I'm using this orange habanero pepper. It brings special flavor to our soup. Not just spice, but lots of flavor it brings to our soup. That is why I'm using it. So if you're just joining us, Naya Emmanuel, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate those watching from YouTube. Our guest family is one of them. I'm not sure who's the second person, but anyway, if you're watching from YouTube, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you, and let's blend our orange pepper now, orange habanero pepper. So we are done with this one. Let's set it aside. This is perfect. This pepper is really very flavorful. So this is what the pepper looks like. I'm gonna just add it now. You can see I didn't blend it completely like smoothie. Still okay. Eventually, you're not even gonna see the pepper at all. Most likely I will add more. Most likely I will add more Cameroon pepper because this might not be enough. I love pepper a lot in my food, so I have to keep adding more. Jacinta, you're not really late. Hi, how are you doing today? You're waiting time today. So just my pepper has gone in. What we're making today for those of us that didn't start with us is oha soup. And today's oha soup is very special for many reasons. I've got fresh oha for the first time in a long time. So I'm using fresh oha to make today's oha soup. It's very special to me. And for those that care to know, oha soup is one of the most delicious local soup we have in the southeastern part of Nigeria. And if you want to really keep it local, you have to use everything local for that. And that would mean using also ogiri to cook. For those that doesn't know, it's kind of local beans that is fermented, or I think sometimes also made from melon, I think also. So, but anyway, This is my oha here I've got. I'm just gonna wipe my nose a bit. So let's keep here now, because of the paper I've added here, the aroma from this is changing gradually. Remember, I keep saying this, and it's very important I keep saying it. You don't parboil meat when you are making a hasu. You don't really have to parboil the meat. You just have to cook along to make sure that once the meat is done, you are done cooking the soup. So timing is necessary. Like one of the things I was talked about in church today is when you time your cooking. Some people might use the exact time and still mess up the cooking, but that is why I always talk about timing here. Even though sometimes, even if you observe all the rules, you will still not do a good job. But keep following me, definitely you perfect the acts. I don't need to time myself when I'm cooking because I already know the right time to add this, the right time to add the next thing. But for those that want to know exact time, if you watch the whole of this video from beginning to the end and you're making your house soup, most likely you get it right. Most likely. I'm not saying you will if you don't know how to cook or how originally, but maybe you will. So let's cover this and let it keep cooking. I want to be sure of okay, I think it's okay. I don't want to add more paste. I might just add more paste to that. So what else do we have? Also, what I have here also, I have uziza seed and I have uziza leaf. So what I'm going to be doing right now is to blend my crayfish and blend my uziza seed together and then pour inside. Again, it's all about spices. If you know the spices you're going to use to make your cooking or to cook, you most likely get your cooking right. What will matter most then is the timing and when you're adding what you're adding and how long you let that to cook. For example, I have my meat, my pomo and shaki boiling here. I still have my red meat here. Why? I can as well choose to add my red meat in time, but I know it takes much less time for this to cook and absorb the spices than the rest of the things that I have inside this place. So still have my red meat here waiting to be added to the cooking, which I'm going to be doing now anyway. But once I add my crayfish and uziza seed, uziza seed can still be called black pepper. For those that don't know, that is actually the black pepper we're talking about. So yeah, so let's blend our crayfish. I'm not even sure where did I keep it? Okay, I've got uziza here. I need just some amount of uziza to blend, not so much. Again, remember, if you add uziza so much in your cooking, particularly the seeds, the soup will get a little bit bitter. So quantity matters. Quantity you're adding to your soup matters a lot. So remember that. I think I'm good with this one. Yeah, I think I'm good with this one. I want to get my crayfish. So here is my crayfish. I'm going to add my crayfish here. I'm going to add my crayfish to this. And I've said it many times here, crayfish is actually the main thing most of the soup we cook needs to get very tasty. If you miss adding so many meats, which is not necessary in your cooking, don't miss adding enough crayfish. You will need it to have that delicious taste you're looking for in your cooking. So right now we're just gonna take care of this one. I'm just gonna cut the. I'm just gonna blend the crayfish quickly. It doesn't take time. Less than 2 minutes, less than 30 seconds. We are done blending crayfish. So
Done with this one, 37 seconds. We are good with this. Ikiri, good evening. Thank you so much. Ushe, Shuku, thank you so much for joining us. Look at the crayfish with the Uzuza seed, well blended. I'm just adding it now. Remember, as the meat is cooking, it's absorbing all the sweet spices or delicious spices I have in here. So remember that. I'm just going to add some water and raise this. Yeah, this is good. Now we push this aside. Give it a quick turn and let it continue cooking. At this point, I'm going to add some salt. So we're gonna add some salt already, and eventually we'll test it to see if there's need for more salt. So let's keep going. What else do we have? Now is also a good time to take care of my fish. My big fish needs to be taken care of right now. So I'm just going to debone it. I'm still going to add the big head anyway. But I want to make sure I don't have all unnecessary yamayama inside. Like this broom, I don't need to have it inside. But I'm still going to have the head inside, definitely. I want it inside. Yeah? Let's take out all the center bone. I don't know what, for those in sciences, I'm taking out the backbone or whatever it's called, yeah? So once we add all this, trust me, and leave it to boil for some time, if you chop this my soup, you'll nearly one bite your finger. But anyway, we are nearly done now. All the bones are gone. Let's see what we'll do next. We just get some water right now and wash it for the last time. And then put it inside. We'll wash them gradually. You can see what it's looking like. The more you add spices, the more the aroma continues to improve, certainly. And as I'm adding my dry fish now, the aroma again will boost up and continue to improve. So I said it many times, not be just meat where you use cook to make your soup sweet. Not be the meat. But that thing we add, they make your soup sweet. Like the crayfish, like the dry fish, yeah. I'm so lucky this fish don't get all those wiggles that will attack fish. It doesn't have it at all. So I'm going to take out all this right now. So give it a quick turn and let it again. I'm going to add my ogiri. Where's my ogiri? I'm going to add some ogiri right now. I'm sure you guys are watching what I'm adding. It's important you add everything I'm adding here, particularly the crayfish. If you have access to ogiri or local beef, local one, please get it.
It's very helpful when you're making local. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is not Iru for my Yoruba friends and brothers and sisters. This is Ogiri. The Igbo version, I would say the Igbo version of Iru, but it's not Iru. And this is not Ogbe. Ogbe is different. This is Ogiri. For those that want to know, maybe I should bring it close if you want to see what it looks like. This is Ogiri. And this is Ogiri. Oh my God, so set to the floor. So this, if you're not sure if the ogiri is going to break in the soup, you can just break it in a plate with some water, warm water preferably, before you put it inside. But I know it's very soft, so it's going to break quickly. And then, yeah, and this is another one I'm putting. So I'm done with ogiri now. I'm going to put it back and return it to my freezer, definitely. So I'm going to give it a quick turn. Right now, I will take my time and then cut this meat. The meat is becoming too much, but that's okay. I probably will not add the meat. So we'll leave it now to cook, to continue cooking while I take my time to cut this one. I think I will cut the liver first. I have just small amounts of liver here, so you guys can see, very small. I'm just going to cut liver first and fruit. Liver takes time to cook actually, but I think I still have enough time to cook that the liver will well cook. Very tiny and small. This is the liver I'm adding. Remember, you can also add your liver from the beginning. That's no problem at all. And if you're cooking this in Nigeria, definitely you want to add your meat first. I mean, when I mean meat, I mean this one, because our meat back, our cow bed is strong. Well, this one not strong at all. No good talk about. But anyway, because I know the kind of meat I'm using, I have to take my time to cook. So cut. Remember, I said I was going to remove all the fats, which is this. I don't need this in my food. I don't need the fat. I just need the meat. So I'm taking this out and then cut the size that I want. Eventually, even if I put it with the fat will melt and enter the soup, which is not what I want either. So I need to help myself to remove it, since eventually I'll be eating the soup. So I don't really get to gym, but this is one of the ways I try to maintain and watch my weight. So the meat is getting ready. Yeah, this doesn't have much fat. I'm going to cover this a bit, sorry guys. So again, taking out the fat as much as I can. You may not get out everything definitely, but try your best to remove the fat as much as you can. If you can. Not the most, if you have this kind of time, I have to do it, you do it. If you don't have this kind of time, just cook it like that. Now, human being, you know the quiet person. So I think this one has a bit of fat. Yeah, I don't like this one, has a bit of fat which I have to remove. I don't like it. Taking it out. Yeah, this is what I want. I want this one. So we are almost done with this one now. And the good thing about cooking, if you're cooking oha soup and you're wondering which part of cow meat you can buy, you can actually, if you can buy tozo from cow meat is better and tastier when you're cooking oha soup, particularly. If you buy tozo, you will enjoy the soup a little bit more. It brings some really good taste to your cooking. So we are almost nearing the end of our cooking today. we are almost getting close to the end, so I'm not going to use this last page. I'm not going to use this last meat. I'm going to just add this one. This one is enough for me. This one is enough for me. So what's another thing? Okay. So this will go in right now. This will go in. Again, I've explained why I'm adding this meat at this time. Some people will come and tell me now, why are you adding your meat very late? That is what some people will come and tell me. I've explained why I'm adding it at this point in time. So this is all the meats I need. It's actually way too much, I'll be honest. I don't know I'm adding much meat like this when I'm cooking, but anyway, let's give it some time more. Let's add one seasoning. Let's add one seasoning and then we let it boil or continue cooking. Yeah, if you're joining from Rita Neshe, Rita Da Akindele Neshe Agrito, how you guys doing? It's been a while. Let's see. Etsu, thank you for joining us today. Shin in Love, thank you for joining us today. Everyone that joined, whether from YouTube, whether from Facebook, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining my page. Thank you for joining my channel, and thank you for joining my live stream. So now I added some seasoning. So what we're going to keep doing now is to allow this to keep cooking for as long as possible. What I would do now is, remember when I scooped out some of this, I'm going to add some of this inside right now, just a little bit of it, not everything. So let's cover it to keep cooking while we get ready the hali. And of course the thickener is ready, so we're not worried about that. Let's cover it up a bit, then take out some of this stuff here to create space. Everyone that joined us today, thank you everyone that joined me on my kitchen today. I know I started late today. That was because I went to church. I didn't plan going to church today, but as the Spirit leads, I went to church. And here I am, starting a bit late, but finishing quite, I would say, quite in time. So this is, I'm just trying to, close my ogiri before I turn it back to freezer. Yeah. My ogiri has gone inside, my ogiri has gone inside. Now this will go back to freezer for preservation. I'm just going to keep it here for the meantime, but it's going back to freezer. So right now I'm trying to create some space here by taking out all this. I don't think I need all this. Let's create some space for the half. Now we are nearing close to the end of our cooking today. So let's keep going. You guys can see how he's doing, right? He's doing great. You can see how he's doing, but I'm not going to leave it open permanently because I need it to keep cooking, so I won't leave it open permanently. I'm going to remove this and then get my vegetable tray for cutting. Let me say something quite funny. Sometimes when we do things offline, I can actually use this, maybe give it a quick wash and use it to cut my vegetable. But if you do it now, you most likely see somebody that will tell you, why don't you have a vegetable tray? Why don't you have a vegetable board? So I'm going to get my vegetable board to cut it. But, we're too savvy, so we have to keep making sure we are doing things according to the book. let's give this a quick wipe first before we bring the vegetable board or cutter. So this is ready, and let's keep going. For those that want to still see how the soup is doing really good, as you can see. But what it's doing right now is cooking and absorbing the spices, the pepper, the seasoning, the crayfish, the fish, everything inside. The meat is absorbing all the flavors right now, and that is how you cook or have soup to get the best of flavor in it. And because I'm a good lover of pepper, please, if you don't like pepper, don't add pepper the way I add to my cooking. I love pepper a lot. You don't have to add Cameroon pepper. I added fresh pepper at the right time, so fresh pepper can cook very well. This is Cameroon pepper. You guys know it's well dried already, so you can add that in any time. But I added my fresh pepper at the right time to cook properly. So yeah, this is really going well now. And what next I have, like I said, is my making cutting, or I'm preparing my, what's it called, my oha. You don't really cut oha. I'm just going to use my hands to just tear the oha into two. You don't really have to cut it. It doesn't really make any difference when you cut it anyway. So my vegetable board, this is one of them. I'm going to get my oha. This oha has been washed. Typically when you're using oha to cook, believe me, I don't like washing it. Trust me. I just like cutting it, and making sure that I don't have any sand around it, but then tear them into bits and then pour inside. So let's use one of these just to make sure we get all the oha out. For those joining us for the first time and cannot visit this kitchen, welcome to my page. I love you guys for joining. Please remember to share my videos, both the live stream, both the live stream, share it, guys, and even the what we call the recorded video. Please share it for me, guys. I really appreciate that. If you're watching from Facebook, share and share. If you're watching from YouTube, also share and share. I really appreciate that if you guys can do that for me. So I'm getting ready to Hana. The oha is not even ready. I'm not adding it yet, so you guys know. But I just want to get it ready. But I'm not even adding it yet. It's still one of the last things that will go in. So oha is so easy. So to get the leaf out, excuse me. To get the leaf out is so easy, particularly when it has stayed overnight. You can see what it's looking like. Well, if you are watching this video and this live stream now or later and you don't know what is oha leaf, my next soup is to cook for my Yoruba husband. That's good to know. Rita, thanks a lot for saying that. Cooking for him more, he will like it. Trust me. Anyway, for those that doesn't know what oha is, just like what my big sister is saying here, Rita is saying, oha leaf is mainly used or mainly found in southeastern part of Nigeria, and is used to make local soup that is consumed everywhere. It's not really the fact that we have the tree in the southeastern part of Nigeria does not mean it's consumed only in that area. No, it's consumed all around Nigeria, and everywhere in the world you have Nigerians, even non-Nigerians too. Because I'm hoping that someday my non-Nigerian friends, my pure Canadian friends will, should I say pure Canadian friends or something? you know, my friends in Canada that are not from Nigeria will love to have or eat this soup. So I need to mind my grammar here, so I know I'm not saying the wrong thing. What I'm trying to say is, my friends that are not Nigerians will eat the soup and love it because it's really tasty, very delicious, and I'm hoping to teach my friends that are not Nigerian how to eat swallow with oha soup. Maybe my co-workers will learn how to eat oha soup. Anyway, I'm getting ready now. Remember what is happening in this pot right now is the meat is cooking and absorbing the spices inside, absorbing all the spices, all the flavors, that when you eat the meat, it gets very delicious. You can see it's cooking and cooking and cooking and cooking. That is what is happening here right now. I'm still going to add some more water before I add my thickener, but just know that once we start adding other things, once we add thickener to this food now, that means we want to stop the cooking for the purpose of absorbing flavor, because it will actually stop absorbing flavor at that point in time, but start getting very thick. But anyway, we are almost done with the oha. So this is oha here. Oha is done, and I'm still gonna get ready the second one. This might not be enough, so this doesn't look enough. I'll get ready the second one. I'll get ready the second one and leave two. I bought 4, but I will leave 2. Somebody taught me how to preserve or how to keep it fresh. So I'm gonna try doing it. The soup always reminds me of my grandmother, my father's mother. Yes, I want to remember my father's. I want to remember her name, Odihoma. Yes, I remember her name right now, Odihoma. I know all of them. all the wives, I know all their names. So yes. I bet you don't. Ruth, I bet you don't. You didn't remember her name, right? But I remember her name. Anyway, it's fun remembering things. Yes, correct. I'm correct. Thank you for saying that. So yeah, it's fun remembering where I grew up. Part of my life I spent with my grandmother, and she taught me so much. And but she gave me wahala. Sure, I know it's more wahala. Those days, one carry woman, they great. So that's by the way. So don't have that in your record. Anyway, I grew up. Part of my life, my young adult age was spent with my grandmother, and I enjoyed. She was actually one of those that taught me how to cook. And later on in the later part of my life as an adult, I had reason to stay with her for some years, when I have to practically be the one to make her food for those years. So you can see how things turns around. At some point, she was teaching me to cook. When she was getting older, I was the one that stayed to cook for her for some years, until she passed, but I left before she passed and become one of her ancestors. Yeah, your grandmother was one of my favorites. Thank you so much for saying that, Rita. I appreciate that. See, I have one of the best grandmothers in the world. And I'm sure she's watching over me from the great beyond right now. And she's probably saying, yes, I know this Okorie will do better. She used to call my local name. My local name is Okorie. That's my Igbo name. That's what she used to call me. The grandmother makes this soup with their oldest cookery on a festive day. Yeah, I think now you're right. That's true. You're very correct. That's true. So I think I've had enough for her now. I don't know if I need some more. If I need some more, I still got some here. I don't want to keep plucking so much. I think this is enough. This should be enough. If I need more, I will plug some more. Anyway, let's keep going. So we are done now. If you want to know what the OHA stem looks like, this is what it looks like. We just plug the leaves out. This is what it looks like, right? So we are getting close to the end of our cooking today. Very, very close. I want to be sure if I'm missing something. Other than, I'm going to add some amount of uziza leaf also. That I have to cut, certainly. I have to cut my uziza leaf with knife, unlike my OHA, that I have to just use my hand to pluck and just cut into it. But I would need the knife, certainly, to cut uziza leaf. Uziza leaf you can get it fresh, you can get frozen one like this one I got. I'm just going to take out the water first and then bring it back. Let's see how we are doing here. We are doing really good. We are doing really, really good. Like I said, guys, remember I said I'm going to add more water to this, and maybe I should add it in time now. Maybe I need to add it in time. But before then, let me just give some slice to my uziza. I added the dry seed uziza, but I'm not sure. The flavor is not coming out the way I wanted it. Maybe I added a little bit small because I know I was going to still add the leaf. So I'm going to see, I've set some leaf aside that I'm going to add to it. I've got let me get some water. Once I add some water here now, we are almost done completely. I'm going to just get some water. So let's see how we are doing. We are doing really good. I'm just going to test it a bit and see what's going on. Yeah, it's doing really good. Really good. It's doing well. Can you show us how to make a local moi moi? Eba. I wanted to make it back here, but I've not seen that. I've not seen the yellow corn here. That's just the problem. Whenever I get the yellow corn, I will make it back here definitely. I tried getting yellow corn the last time, but I couldn't just get enough. But I've made agidi with white corn of course. But I know you're talking about the bakere. I know, right? I know you're talking about the bakere, but no yellow corn yet. When I get yellow corn, I will do it. One of the things I've done here in the past, some months ago, last year was what was it? Iboka, but that's not bakere. Those are two different things. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So when I get access to, whenever I'm able to have access to yellow corn, I will do it definitely. But so far, we don't have it here. The only thing we have here is white corn. And I know we can use white corn too, but no, I prefer to use yellow corn to do that. So I have it in my agenda to do that too. But getting the right corn, right now we have fresh corn in the stores, but fresh corn will not do the job. We need the old corn, dry corn to do the job. So let's see. I don't know if I'm going to add some more water here. And once it boils, I'll add my my thickener, my OHA, and maybe my uziza leaf. All will go inside immediately. But let's just add some more water once and for all. So when it boils, we know we are done adding water. So for those wondering, is the soup not watery? It's watery, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it's watery, but by the time I add my thickener right now, it gets really good. So I'm going to add my thickener, but I'm not ready for that yet. What I'm ready for now is to add some more water first. But this soup has to be big. It really has to be big. it really has to be big because of the amount of meat or the quantity of meat inside. So let's leave it to boil more. I've got my cocoyam here. Only God knows if this is cocoyam. But where I bought it from Africa, so it says cocoyam. It says cocoyam, which is the best for cooking our soup. But only God knows if it's cocoyam really, and we don't know that. So we just have to do some more waiting. That is all we need to do now. Just some more waiting to finish up. Sometimes when you're waiting for the soup to cook, you almost be tempted to start adding other things that you start hurrying up. But if you hurry up and bring up and add things when you're not supposed to add them, you will not get the good results you're looking for. So patience is the key when you're making local soup. Patience is the key. Know when to add what you're supposed to add. Cover the pot, relax. Leave it to keep cooking until it's time to add the next thing. That is the key. Having that patience is important. So yeah. Maybe as we are waiting for this to boil, it's actually trying to boil. I should start cutting my oha leaf. Remember, some people will actually just put this like this, but for me, I will not put it like that. You can actually use knife to just cut it quickly, but I prefer to just use hand, just tear it in bits. I don't have to use knife. If you want to use knife, it's up to you, but I prefer to just use my hand, tear it in bits, and that's okay. Some people don't even mind, some people will not even know what I'm doing itself. They will just pour it inside like that. But for me, I want to just do it like this. She always makes sure I get one from her before she proceeds. Yeah. Because I believe that I was one of her favorites too. Exactly. I would definitely make this soup this week. Thank you so much. I'm glad you make it, Rita. Thanks so much. Just remind me of those sweet memories I have with my grandmother. She was the best. She was the best. Of course, followed with my mother. So those are just good memories I have. But like I said, she's also a secret woman. She doesn't really allow somebody to enjoy. She's just the mad person left, right, and center. She was my secret woman those days. Anyway, that's part of the fun. So I'm just cutting my oha now. Remember, you don't have to cut this way. You can if you want to. Some people will also use knife and do that. That is still okay if you want to, but it don't make sense. Any one way you use is still good. So just giving it a quick cut, quick cut. So yeah, we are just doing what we are supposed to be doing now to get this ready. Let's see. Yeah, it's boiling already. I'm gonna give it some few more minutes and then I'll start adding other things. Well, not almost everything is finished. Things I'm gonna add there. The only thing left to add here more now is test for salt and add some more salt if needed. Add maybe one more seasoning because the soup is big. Remember, I added my local seasoning ogiri, and I'm also adding normal or whatever seasoning, which is also good. But I cannot add just without adding my ogiri. It's not possible. My ogiri has to go in first. So we are doing this right now. What is 3 things left to go into this pot? We are done cooking. One is the ozizan leaf, this one. Second is oha leaf, and third, of course, is my thickener, which will go in right now before I add the leaves. But I just want to give it just a few more minutes to cook before I go in with my thickener. So we are almost done for the day, for the week actually. Until next week, we are almost until next weekend when I will come on live stream again. We are almost done for the day. So let's keep going. Let's see how we are doing right now. I think we are doing well. We are just about how many? We are 1 hour 3 minutes into this cooking, which is good. I think we're doing much with time. We're doing well with time, particularly when you're making a hot soup. We're actually doing well with time. So yeah, this is it. We are nearing almost the end. Just to get all your hair ready. So let's see. What next? I want to see how. I think I'm good with this. Right now, what I'm going to add next is my thickener. Okay, let me test for salt before I add my thickener. I think I need some more. I need to add some more salt. Pepper is okay the way I want it. That's cool. That is me eating lots of pepper. That is how I like it. So we are nearing now the end of our cooking today. I'm glad I have you guys to join me. So let's see. Again, I hope this thickener will, the root cocoyam, I hope it's really cocoyam. Anyway, I've used it many times. That it is actually almost like cocoyam. I've used it many times. Let's see. I think I'll need to stop adding now. Close it up a bit and let it cook. You guys will see by the time I close it now and open in the next 5 minutes, the texture of the soup will change automatically because I've added some thickener, which needs some time to boil to mix properly. I want to be careful so I don't add so much. So right now, thickener has gone in. Let's give it some 2-3 minutes and open again. Then you see the magic. For making a hot soup, I don't like using ashi. I have ashi here actually. Ashi would have been the best magic to use to thicken the soup, but because ashi has its own taste, if I add ashi to this hot soup, it's gonna alter the taste a bit for me. So I'm not gonna use ashi. Anytime I'm making ashi soup, I'm cooking it separately. Otherwise, this is also another good thickener you can use, but I'm not using it until I want to cook ashi soup. So we are nearing the end now. Hopefully in the next 10 minutes we should be good to go. So let's see how it's doing. Yeah, it's doing really good. It's thickening very fast. As you can see, I don't want to open it so much. It doesn't sprinkle or splash everywhere. I'm going to add some more. It looks as if you need some more. Remember, you don't have to get it very thick. If it gets very thick, you probably will not like it that much again. So it shouldn't get very thick. Oh my God, it is too hot. So now, right now, I'm going to be adding my oha leaf and the Susan leaf to just cook along immediately. Let's see what's going to happen by when it's done. No, it didn't darken the soup actually. This is actually how Jacinta, no, it didn't darken the soup because I need to, let me show you what makes the difference here. I think this is what actually, when you're using palm paste, I don't know if you guys can see this. The palm paste is not like the typical paste you get when you use palm nuts. When you use palm nuts, when you cook and extract it yourself, the color is totally different. Okay, you mean the actually, now I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah, you're very correct. Just I get what you're saying now. That is true. But that is not even the main reason I don't want to use it. The main reason I don't want to use it is because of the taste it will bring to the soup, which is not what I want. So you can see the texture of the soup is changing quickly. You can see what it's looking like. Right now, I'm going to add some amounts of uziza leaf, not so much, just enough of uziza leaf. But what is important for me right now is this oha. Remember, there's this saying when you're adding oha to your cooking, don't turn it, just add oha first, let it cook before you turn. So let's obey that rule, even though it looks like fallacy, but let's obey that rule. Now let's see, cover it up. Oh my God! Oh. Anyway, we are nearing almost the end now. We have, from all indication, this might look a bit thick, but let's see what will happen in the next 2 minutes when we open it up again. Not everybody likes ashy taste in soup. Exactly. Everybody of the slimy nature. Exactly. Ede or cornstarch for me. This exactly, that's the truth. I think I don't even like right from onset I don't really like ashy soup. I don't whether I wash you whether I'm more for now. I think it's called a favi. Eba, you can't have eba, right? It's also called a for whether that one or actually all of them I don't like them in the soup. But I think I actually prefer eba or for more than ashi. Ashi, you just add small, it will thicken your soup so quickly. I don't really like that. But the secret of using ashi very well is don't add so much. If you don't want your soup to be like where you soak Gary, it gets very thick when you add so much. Anyway, I think I'm looking around now to see if there's something I'm missing here. I'm not missing anything. I think everything has gone inside. We are all good. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. What I'm going to do now is to open this and check and see if the olive I added is enough. If it's not enough, I'll add the rest. Let me see if it's enough. Okay, I think it's enough. I don't have to add the rest. It's enough, yeah. Oh, it's not actually enough. I'm going to add more. It's not enough. And maybe more of that thickness if I want to. No, I'm going to add the rest of that olive. This is not enough for me. There are some people that doesn't like much of olive in their soup. I don't like it too much, but I would prefer to have it enough. So I'm going to add this remaining one inside. Some people don't like it so much, remember? It depends on how you like it. So, but I want to put the last one I plucked. So, yeah. Let's see. Hopefully this one will be enough. I don't want to add some more. Let's see what it looks like now. Yeah, I think it's okay right now. I think it's fine now. I think it's fine now. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I add some more leaf or not? Let me add this last one. So we add done with our cooking today, and for the week, yeah, hopefully during the week I'm going to be posting something, new videos of my cooking. I'm going to be posting my short videos, and I'm gonna, sorry guys, I want to add this last one and I'm done. Once I add this last one. So the oha is, let me cover it for just 2 minutes. We are almost done with our cooking. So everyone that joined us today, you guys are really the best. I love you guys. I am done with my cooking today, and yeah, so thank you for joining us, and remember to invite your friends to join us on this our page. Let's keep making good food. Let's keep entertaining ourselves, and yeah, hopefully as time goes on, we might have reason to take the page to the next stage. But for now, let's keep making good food and entertaining ourselves. Invite your friends to always join us on this page. And for those watching from YouTube, hey, get your friends to join us on YouTube also. Wherever you're watching from, I appreciate you guys. And remember, be happy. The sister said yummy, yummy. Yeah, it's yummy, yummy. You can say that again. It's really yummy, yummy. You can say that again. You can imagine what it looks like. There's some people that like their soup very, very thick. I don't like it that much. So this is enough for me. You guys can see what it looks like. We actually done cooking now. Everything is well cooked. Remember I told you guys, by the time we started with using the raw meat, I said from the beginning, by the time your meat is well cooked, you are done cooking. And our meat is well cooked already, and our soup is done. That is the beauty of making oha soup. So I love you guys for joining me, and keep coming back to my page, keep coming back to my channel on YouTube. Let's keep building this social media platform. Let's take it to another level where people will be talking about what we do on this page. Until, like I keep saying, when I come your way next weekend, Saturday and Sunday for our live streaming, just enjoy what you're seeing. Share with your friends. Tell your friends there is this guy that makes good food on Facebook. There's this guy that makes good food on YouTube. Let's go and check him out and see what he's doing. So imagine you're making oha soup. You're gonna what we've used so far is 1 hour 17 minutes. That is probably what you're gonna use to make good oha soup. Peace Heavenly, 5-star oha soup. Very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So if you're making oha soup, budget at least 2 hours. Budget at least 2 hours from the time you prepare your ingredient, your fish, your everything. This is what you get by the time you are done. Not gonna clap for me now. I try, Abby. Anyway, thanks everyone that joined us. We are done for the day, and I look forward to you guys coming back on my channel, my page, daily, every day, Monday to Friday, until we go on live stream on Saturday and Sunday next week. I love you guys, and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye, guys.